And we're the Weirdo, Beardo.
Weirdo Beardo, brought to you by Mountain Dew.
And we got some weird beards, bitch. Our beards are weird, just like
Very
Eminem.
weird. Just like Eminem's. He's got a beard now?
Yeah, you didn't hear whenever, like years ago, Machine Gun Kelly was saying, beard's weird at the beginning of his.
No, I missed that feud.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Maybe we should do a whole podcast about that.
I figured that's where it was going,
We're
so.
going to throw out the rundown. No, I'm joking.
We'll do it live!
Fuck it. We'll do it live. No, we're not throwing out the rundown. We are still gathering today.
To pay our
Again,
respects.
yes. To
We are
to
gathered here today to pay our respects to the Alien movies.
yeah, 'cause they're so dead. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But to be clear, we are going to be talking about a lot of that. And this is one of those times where, and and I know that we disagree about some of this.
Yes. It's fighting time, Chad.
But that's fine. You know how we are. We'll get along fine, even though
Yeah.
we disagree. We're not like
Piece of shit.
we're not like people on the whatever podcast.
The actual Beardo Weirdo podcast.
But so yes, that's me throwing shade at the whatever podcast. Whatever.
Oh, wow.
Actually, what's funny is I watched that shit and I kind of hate. That's the one that I'll get to later about the guy that I was going to get to later.
Yeah.
But let's get started with these alien films. So generally, um, tell us your voyage through the alien films.
I like the Alien movies. Alien 1 was really, it's a horror. It's truckers in space and they're being attacked one by one. So
Right.
I kind of dug the horror aspect of that, and plus Ridley Scott's behind the visuals, so it looks really good and clean. Aliens is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
We
So
can agree there too.
yeah, I really enjoyed that. A mother and daughter story with Marines in space.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that one, and I did not like part 3 at all. Prisoners in space
Yeah,
fighting an
part three
alien.
was kind of a letdown, which is hilarious because it's got the most iconic shot that everybody uses from
Yeah, the
alien
meme.
films. Like the one where she's like up against the wall and shit.
Yeah, and the head's coming out of the mouth.
Yeah.
I see that done with a stapler a lot.
Yeah. I have seen a lot of people like making fun of that.
That's
And then
David
one
Fincher's
day I
first
remember I
movie.
drew one. I drew a version of that was the alien looked really good, but Ripley looked like she was like heavily influenced by like the guy with the uneven clocks. You know?
The uneven clocks, the melting clocks.
Yeah.
Dolly.
Is it Salvador Dali? Is that the one?
Yeah, Saliva Dolly.
Oh man. Well, whatever, like let's just say I took some artists uh
Inspiration.
inspiration there, and it doesn't look human as much as like I'm just not good at drawing human faces. Apparently I can draw an alien really
But
well.
aliens were based off people.
Anyway, let's get back to the movies.
Okay, so then we had part 4, which I'm actually kind of a fan of. It's
There's
not my
some yeah,
favorite movie, but it's got charm to it.
there's part four is one like part three is boring almost all the way through. Even some of the action scenes don't seem to stand up. And I hate to say that because wasn't the director
It's David Fincher.
Fincher? And I
Yeah,
love everything Fincher's done
almost
other than
everything.
that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to say it, but I'm guessing that at that time it was becoming heavily like there was a lot of like trickle down from the people trying to change this and that or do it
Yeah, he had
differently or
little
whatever.
control of that movie.
Yeah. So we can't really blame him for that. But
No, I still blame him.
you can firmly put it on the blame on him if you wish. But
Yes.
and then there's Resurrection. Joss Whedon, right?
Yeah. Joss
And,
Whedon helped write it.
uh Was he directed or was it directed
No,
by
he
somebody else?
didn't. No, it was directed by a French guy,
Oh, okay.
which I don't remember the name of.
Okay. Um, well, that being said, I agree with you on that one too, because I think that it's oddly got a lot of good scenes, a lot of memorable parts, but as a whole, and that weird fucking human alien thing
Oh
kind of
yeah,
ruined it for
yeah.
me.
That does. And what's weird is they did not to skip ahead, but they bring that whole concept back in
And
Romulus.
Romulus, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, really? That's what you picked to bring back? We couldn't have done the Queen again or something.
Well, we'll get to Romulus. I think that there's certain aspects of Romulus of what they were trying to do, and I think that it's way better than. I mean, I can say it's way better than Resurrections, but I can see what you're saying about like, oh, that's what you're gonna bring back here from that.
Yeah.
Uh, so anyway, now let's get to the elephant in the room. Um,
Prometheus.
Prometheus.
Not to be confused with Promethazine.
You like Prometheus, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You do not like Prometheus.
I would like it to be this podcast to be sponsored by Promethazine.
Well, we'll see what we can do. But
Okay.
anyway, so I like Prometheus.
Yeah, I
I
can't
think
believe
that
you like that.
I think there was great visual elements. I think that they story wise, I understand there's some wonkiness there, but man, like I've gone, me, dude, but we've had stupid bickering arguments about this since it came out, and including the time that you told me it was the reason that his brother jumped off a bridge. But
Whoops.
but clearly there was other stuff going on in poor Tony's life.
Was there, or was it just Prometheus?
But anyway, I
How to
enjoyed
unbrother
Prometheus.
somebody.
I do understand how a lot of people it was
They're
negatively taken.
scientists and they do the dumbest shit.
Yeah, but they're scientists who've
They
never
take
been
off
in
their
an alien.
helmets.
That was hilarious, actually. When not Tom Hardy took off his helmet, I was like, really? But I think that was just like them like shoving in the face of danger. At least
Right.
him. And then
Well,
once
but then they're
everybody
scared
else was
of
like, all right, fine, we're doing this.
then they're scared of everything, and then they decide to get a pet, that little like cute looking alien at first before it kills them.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about when Shakespeare was like, "Oh, isn't this thing beautiful?" But it was like an eel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're just going to talk about how stupid the characters are, I can go back and we can talk about other stupid characters.
That would be a 4-hour podcast.
The I appreciate a lot of things about it. There are dumb things about it, but as stated, I'm still a fan.
Wasn't it shot in 3D?
It was shot in 3D, and it was also, the Prometheus School of Running Away from Things is very famous because they were running in the one direction
That would doom
that
them.
wouldn't do any good for them when the ship was rolling towards them.
Take a step either left or right, guys.
But then we move on to Covenant, which Covenant I believe you liked it a little bit more
I liked it
than
because it had
Prometheus.
aliens in it.
Yeah, that's fair. It did have aliens in it. I do think that they were kind of osmosis aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like they fucking gestated so fucking fast several
Yeah.
times.
And they
Like they,
evolved pretty
I
quick.
understand there was kind of some time jump between when the first two popped out of the weirdest places, like the back and shit.
Yeah.
But we were in proto alien world at that time, so I guess we'd let it make it right.
Yeah. I'll give it a pass.
Would
It killed what's his name in the opening scene, so
Yeah,
he was only in
like 4 minutes of the
trailer. Well,
movie,
he wasn't
or
even
like
in
no,
the
he wasn't even
movie. It was
He
all
was technically wasn't in the movie. All you see him is burn up in the movie.
yeah, and he's only in the promotional material.
I wonder if they got some inside baseball about,
The
Franco.
accusations coming
Yeah.
towards him.
And they were like, "Hey, here's a good idea. Let's just like kill him off real quick and go ahead."
I was supposed to live through the whole movie. I was the next Ripley.
And fucking poor who's the dude, the big guy that was in fucking uh Covenant. Uh I hate it when my brain does this to me.
Doing it to all of us.
It's doing it to all of us like
Yeah.
right now.
Right now, we're being done by your brain.
But anyway, I'm sorry. Danny McBride
Danny
was also
McBride.
in there. And I thought I remember thinking, because that was like the crew from like This Is the End and shit,
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, oh man, Franco's only in the very beginning of this film. He's not even in the cast. Like if you look at the cast, it doesn't show him in the top billed cast. But Dan McBride probably was like, oh damn, he got me into this. Now he's
Well, he's canceled.
he's
And
totally melted,
they
canceled.
really canceled him hardcore up here.
Yeah, I'll say. But all in all, the new chick that was the lead was pretty good in that. Um, again, it is Ridley Scott again, so
Yeah.
he kind of he's kind of the guy. Like that's why I kind of like lean into Prometheus, because obviously he was trying to do something there, and it was him. But
I blame the
Covenant,
writers.
Covenant was getting back. Like I think originally too, I believe Prometheus was supposed to be like a not direct prequel.
No, it was supposed to be part of a larger trilogy that was going to slowly get us to the aliens.
Yeah, but I think that let's go back to the executives talking shit, because if I'm not, I might be wrong, but I'm guessing that they were like, look, we have to connect this some way. Like
Yeah, we need
nobody's gonna go
aliens.
watch this if we don't get at least one thing that looks like some stuff from Aliens. And
Yeah, they
like,
pretty much scrapped their plan and went into a covenant with we were just making an alien movie at this point.
yeah.
We don't care what you do with the robot.
I did kind of appreciate the whole like space jockey thing that they were trying to lean into with the architects.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a little bit of like back and forth of continuity there. you know
Yeah.
like it's not like when we see the one in Alien, it's like in the chair or whatever,
Yeah.
it's not at all the same one that like is in Prometheus, right? It's just another one.
Yeah, it's just a different one.
But we can talk about what you think about the evolution of the aliens throughout those two movies. Did you think that was just like throwing shit together, or did you think there was anything good with that?
It was good, but it was thrown I mean, obviously it was thrown together. Trying to morph them because Prometheus set a pretty slow pace for the evolution of things, and when you get to Covenant, we're back to square one.
Okay, baby.
You can call me Derek.
So the other thing about it that like I think that they were originally going to go for a more like, I guess you could say, non-man-made look into it, and then when the best part of Prometheus and the part that everybody liked the most was David,
Yeah,
I think he leaned into David and was like, let's make him like kind of the evil. Because like in the first one, let's not say that David was great. Like he poisoned not Tom Hardy.
yeah,
A lot of people kind of missed that. I missed that in the original watch. I didn't see him do the little finger droplet.
really.
But yeah, I didn't see that at all. I was assuming that maybe he just got infected because he took his helmet off. And then I was questioning why anybody else wasn't infected, you know?
No, it's for the logic of that movie that makes sense.
And so then they also there was apparently a more extended version of when old boy comes back to the ship and he's all like melted and shit, you know?
Yeah.
I saw that too later and was like, oh, okay. But the initial plan was probably to be more of a general kind of growing of the organism of the and everything. And then they were like they kind of just took a left turn with Covenant. And I think it was more because Prometheus didn't wasn't the best reviews and it didn't blow up like they wanted it to. I think it I mean box office did it do all right? I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Compared to the other movies, I don't think it hit as hard as they wanted it to. Plus, the reviews were not good.
Well, the box office did fine because against the but well, I guess maybe it still would have made money, even if we look at it with the traditional 130 million was the budget. Now let's say they did another 130 for promotion,
Marketing.
so that's 260, and we still made 403 million. So it still was a good, it still was a box office win. But
Maybe not to what they were
reviews,
expecting.
yeah, it wasn't as big as they're expecting, and also reviews probably weren't initially great. Because people like me are quiet and people like you are loud.
I'm not loud. I'm like a little mouse. You can
He's
hear
like,
me
I'm
from there.
barely speaking right now.
I'm gonna Kevin Costner this and just whisper the rest of the time. I'm
Okay, I'm
Superman's
not going to save
dad.
you from a tornado.
Right? No, let me take the sun. What are you, some kind of fucking idiot?
I remember one of my favorite times I thought I was really smart to use like a meme moment was like somebody posted a thing that was jokingly like it literally was like, oh no, please don't let me get kidnapped by a bunch of goth girls or something like that. And so I literally posted the meme of Jonathan Kent like just holding his hand out like no. And then the tornado takes him, like
Nice.
but I don't know why, but that just popped in my head. It's the funniest thing I could think of related to that. But
That works.
had nothing to do with the alien movies.
I think the Alien movies really lacked a lot of Kevin Costner's finesse.
Oh man, could you imagine him?
Him as Ripley. Stay away from her, you bitch.
Or maybe he could have been like, game over guy. He could have taken Bill Paxton's spot.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game over.
I need to get a Kevin Costner voice.
You
I'll buy one later.
just have to you're not wrong about the whispering. You just have to sigh more and like occasionally make like old man quick quips, like
I don't know. I'm not old enough for the old man quips yet.
like, he could be in Prometheus and he would be like taking over Idris Elba's spot and he'd be like, "Ah, it's Christmas." you know?
Nice. I like this whispering thing. I might do it the whole time. Seems to take
So,
less energy.
so we've been through pretty much all the main alien
Would
films.
you think of
Romulus.
Alien and Aliens?
Oh well, me, I'm a big fan of Aliens. I remember at the time being like I wasn't crazy about the Alien movie, but I knew it was iconic and everybody, it was very popular. And so it was one of those things that's like it was like The Godfather for me. When I first watched it, I didn't think it was great. I thought it was a little boring and it had good moments. And then later in life I watched it again and I was like, yeah, this is a really good suspenseful horror film. So I appreciate it for what it is now. But
I
I'm
think
still a bigger fan. I've always been a bigger fan of the action versions, like when they ramp it up for sequels is usually when I'm like, oh yeah, like I like sequels. I've always liked sequels.
if you see Aliens first, Alien is put at a disadvantage because of
That's fair too.
how energetic and fast paced Aliens is. with the slow burn doesn't work well after that.
Yeah. And then when you move to the other ones, they were trying to keep it at that same pace. I don't
I don't
think
know
that either
about
one of
part
them really did
three.
it.
I was gonna say I don't think part three tried to do anything.
Oh, you're right. Part three, that might have been part of part three, is they were trying to go back into the suspenseful horror aspect, and then
Yeah,
giving it that spin of like, oh, there's bad people here to be worried about, but there's also the alien, you know?
yeah.
Kind of like Walking Dead before it was The Walking Dead.
It was Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, that's what that's what Alien 3 was exactly like, Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
Like, I remember when I first watched Shaun of the Dead, I was like, this is just Alien 3 with laughter.
Why did they put a laugh track in here? Oh, that's not a laugh track.
Yeah, that's
That's
just
me.
yeah, that's me. Uh, so
Why does Schindler's List have a laugh track? Oh, it's me.
that was my joke for one of our comic friends who is admittedly like an ex-Aryan Brotherhood guy. He tries to make a bunch of jokes about he's an ex-Nazi and shit. That was
Wow.
one of my roast jokes for him, was like, he has a special edition of Schindler's List. It has a laugh track.
Oh, nice. I always thought Schindler's List was a sequel to The Passion of the Christ. Jesus Strikes Back.
He still strikes back. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the Jedi returns.
The
But
chosen one has returned.
yeah.
This time you're out
Anyway,
of crosses.
so let's get into Alien versus Predator and
We gonna skip Romulus?
Oh, did we skip? Yeah, we did skip Run.
We got stuck on Covenant for a while.
Yeah, and then we went back because I didn't really talk about the originals, but I will say that if I had to line them up, it's definitely like Aliens, probably Aliens, Alien, Resurrection, and then 3 obviously would be my list from top to bottom, even of how I like them.
Yeah, mine's Aliens, Alien Resurrection, and part three, Alien
Yeah,
Cubed or whatever.
and then when we get to Prometheus and Covenant, obviously, I actually think that I'm in the middle on both. I don't think that I like Covenant more or less than I like Prometheus, but you would obviously like Covenant better than
Yeah,
Prometheus.
I think Covenant's an alien movie, which is what I signed up for.
That's fair. And then there's Alien Romulus. We can get on that. So I really only have watched it like twice, so I
Yeah,
will
me
say
too.
that I enjoyed it. I liked certain aspects of it. I did think about what you said about them bringing back the alien human hybrid and kind of like redoing that, rehashing that. But
Yeah, it was a strange creative choice for me.
I also think that like they tried to take a little bit from everything in that movie and
Yeah.
make it all canon in it, because there's bits and pieces from Prometheus, there's bits and pieces from Covenant. There's obviously that whole scene with where the acid's floating in the air.
Oh, I was about to bring that
That
up. Yeah, I
that's
love
like
that
one of the
scene.
best film scenes I've seen filmed in a while, and even the CG was very on point.
Yeah,
Like
where
you
they're
could,
floating and then the blood's floating.
yeah. So I enjoyed that a whole lot. Um, the new
Uh,
protagonist chick was pretty good.
She ain't no Ripley, but she does a good job.
Yeah. Then, I think was there talk of her being somehow connected to Ripley or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think people were more speculating when they saw the trailers, but when I read about that, but
Yeah, she because Ripley had a daughter that died, so it'd have to be like a granddaughter, or great granddaughter. However, wait, was it Romulus before? When does
Romulus was
Romulus?
between Alien and Aliens, actually.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she wouldn't. I guess no, I don't think she could have been connected to her.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But the when it comes to the extended universe, some of this you might not be privy to, but obviously I talked about Alien versus Predator movies as the extended part.
Uh,
Uh, there's also a couple of video games that are canon that I don't know if you're familiar with.
I'm not familiar with the video games. I am familiar with Alien versus Predator. I like the second one, the one that's too dark to watch.
Really?
Yeah, they
The
forgot to light it.
Requiem?
Yeah.
All right. See, we're in odds and ends on this one too because I like the first one. I did think it was campy. I did think that it was cookie cutter, but there's a lot of iconic shots from that worked really well for me.
Too bad
Uh,
they couldn't have got an iconic plot to go with it.
yeah, that's fair. Um, and I think Requiem's a piece of shit, like
Really?
from start to finish. Like visually,
I think
that
visually it's crap, dude. It's like we just
visually the fucking that may have been what really ruined it for me is visually there's no comparing it to the other Alien films at all.
yeah.
And then the story, like I've always been pretty like I do like that. I think that the main reason why I like part one better than part two is because part one was aliens versus predator, whereas part two was predators versus humans, and aliens might be there. You know,
Yeah.
like
And we called in some friends.
yeah. And so I think Requiem was utter trash. Uh, to this day,
I've
I
only
can't
seen it
finish
once,
watching it.
so
I've tried to watch it. I can't finish watching it. It's
oh,
trash.
the ending's the best part.
Well, the ending of the first one made me want the. That's maybe another reason why I hate it is because the ending of the first one shows the Pred alien show up,
Yeah.
and I'm a nerd so much that I've played video games that aren't popular, like it's old Alien versus Predator video game that's like fucking StarCraft and shit that I loved, and you could make Pred aliens with there, and so I was so excited to see the Pred alien on screen, and then they came out with that fucking piece of crap movie,
Wow.
and
Tell us how
you
you
don't
really feel.
you don't see him much. He dies so quickly at the end. Like he doesn't put up much of a fight. He's not a Pred alien. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Wow. Someone's gonna need to go therapy for this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I didn't expect to be on this end of this. I thought we would both be hating Requiem.
No, no, you found a stickler. I thought the first one was too cheesy,
I
too.
think, I mean, like at least on this podcast, I've been harder on Requiem than you were on Prometheus.
That's true. Maybe
But
Prometheus just started to grow on me, and things that grow on me are always healthy.
yeah, Requiem has never grown on me.
Yeah, if you can't finish it, then yeah, that's probably not growing on you.
But all respect to the filmmakers because people do it.
Nah,
People
they're
make
pieces of
movies.
shit.
It's like, don't you know they like traffic children and stuff?
Yeah. No, this isn't Jeepers Creepers.
That's so. On the whole,
On the
Preparation
whole,
H feels good, right? No,
our
on the
prep
whole,
our
what?
preparation H segment.
on the whole, the Alien universe is very interesting and fun. I've always had a kind of a I think that whenever I played that stupid ass game where you basically have to build aliens from the ground up and like build your little army of aliens, and like I really got into the this. I love how the story or how the alien like lore grew as the stories grew, and especially in the original, like say 2 and 3,
Yeah.
Um, actually, there is important stuff in 3 that was added to the lore, like the runners were added to the lore in 3. You didn't have
Yeah.
runners before that. Like we didn't ever all saw aliens burst out of any animals.
Yeah.
So
We didn't have
that
the
was
dog
interesting.
alien
Yeah.
or the cow alien, depending on which version you had.
Yeah. Yeah, in that game, you could do the same thing. You could go find like a cow walking around and throw a face hugger on it, and it would
And
spit out a runner.
impregnate it.
Yeah.
They call them face huggers, but they're not hugging.
No, they're not huggy at all. They're face fuckers. That's
Yeah,
what they
face
are.
fuckers. Let's call it what they are.
Which is weird because when you think of a face fucker, you think of a man, but somehow it's a walking vagina.
It's face fucking you. I've
It's
met a
face
couple of
fucking you.
those.
He's like, that checks out.
Yeah,
Experienced
that's
that in life.
legit.
Good pulling from real life there, Ripley or whatever.
Kevin Costner.
Jeffrey Costner. Hold on.
So, okay, I think the aliens, I agree with you. I think they're creative, they're fun,
Yeah.
somewhat, sometimes scary, sometimes actiony, sometimes part three and whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
Somebody knocking on my door?
Possible.
Oh, well, I don't hear it anymore. Oh,
But so we've gone through all the alien films. Where are we at? We're on
I think you're going to show us some Andrew Wilson stuff.
oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Andrew Wilson. So
Okay, you're going to have to fill me in on him because I don't remember who Andrew Wilson is.
yeah, well, to be
Yeah.
clear,
Did you just do the
as a
penguin
person,
thing?
I don't know the guy. Maybe he's just playing. Maybe he's just a grifter and he's making money off being this online. But
Like the critical drinker?
he's to give you a kind of a rundown of what happens is the most main time I see him is on this podcast called the Whatever Podcast, hosted by a guy named Brian. Brian's always kind of he can be like up forward, or he can be like very forward with his thoughts about some of the OnlyFans models and calling them whores and all kinds of stuff. And like making girls look stupid on his podcast seems to be his thing.
Wow.
But beyond that, and half the time, like I laugh at it and I'm like, okay, like he's kind of being a dick, but I see what his whole deal is here. But I don't really have a issue with him. He's always kind of like at least just kind of a douchebag about it and seems like he's got his nose in the air, which is fine. He probably makes way more money than I ever will on online shit. But
I don't know. Your
I've got
OnlyFans is kicking it.
my OnlyFans is really getting up there. He can make fun of me. He can call me a whore.
I called
But
you a whore online the other day.
yeah, well, everybody's got the price.
Yours is a bag of Cheetos.
Hey, just to be clear, it's not a bag of Cheetos. It's got to be sour cream and onion ruffles, or I'm not going to do anything. Especially not butt stuff.
Butt stuff.
But no, again, Brian, there's times where I might disagree with him or think that he's being a dick, but like I don't broadly dislike him as a person. Whereas Andrew Wilson, the way that he argues is so disingenuous. He's always about trying to swing the argument over to something that he can basically beat you at, whether he knows more, he thinks he knows more, or he thinks you don't know. Just whatever weakness he can lean into. He
Yeah.
also is very good at baiting you in every fashion. He can race bait you. He'll politicizedly bait you. Like every which way, he knows how to get under your skin, and that's the way he leans into it.
Do you have
And
any videos or audio that you wanted to show?
yeah, I could show you.
Now we're a reaction channel.
Some.
I'm still Kevin Costner.
To be clear, I don't know how much of this is going to be on the recording. You might hear it, you might not. But
surprise for our audience.
Yeah,
we're going to react to stuff you can't hear. I can't hear it.
Okay,
either.
so here's a minute.
You're 20.
Here's a minute we can watch. Let me give you a screen to look at. Now this is just I searched Andrew Wilson whatever podcast. This is the first thing. what you think, and I can send you more shit to talk about him later. Like,
Yeah.
there's times when he's arguing with dudes about more political stuff that is a little bit more infuriating. These kind of things where he's making fun of the OnlyFans girls is common on that show. And half the time I laugh it off because he's just getting in their fucking head and fucking with them.
Yeah.
But he does the same thing whenever he's arguing about political shit. And it's, as a person who tries to have political conversations in good faith, who sees this kind of shit, it just infuriates me a lot of times. I'll admit.
Yeah, he's got you watching.
Well, it's more that I've watched him a few times, and now when it comes up on my timeline, I can't help but at least check it out.
Oh, wow. The
So,
hook.
yeah. This guy here is Destiny. He's like the exact opposite of that guy. But there's been times where they've gone back and forth. And what's funny is there's so many times where Destiny kind of just calls him out, or at least like keeps him on the level. But then if
Yeah.
you search Andrew Wilson Destiny, like the top 10 videos are Andrew Wilson destroys Destiny. Andrew Wilson makes Destiny look like a fool. You know, like it's just like, and then if you watch the video, it's not that at all. You know, like, yeah, there's a couple of times where he gets the top of the argument because he talks over people, but I don't really think he ever won anything, you know.
Yeah.
But
You
what
want to talk
about
about Trump?
yeah, what about Trump bombing? Let's see what he do. He bombed Iran.
Yeah.
Then he was like immediately said, and now they're calling a peace a ceasefire. And he starts screaming about peace. And literally that night,
He's like a
both
kid playing hide and seek or tag. And once he tags somebody, he's like, okay, time out.
yeah. And so then they didn't listen at all. They still started shooting each other.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, who is this guy again?
um
And Trump was like, I'm very disappointed in Israel. They made me very unhappy.
Trump's more flippant than Andrew Wilson could ever be, so to be clear.
Oh, yeah, Trump dropped the F word.
He did. I did see that. And there was people like, I don't give a fuck, but and I hate him. I want every reason to not to dislike him, but that's not something that's gonna get me fired up. I was actually kind of like, oh, look at him. He's
Look at him go.
yeah. Is this it? Yeah.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
What's he talking about? Okay, he's not happy. Something about a rocket that didn't get shot down.
Yeah, he basically said that one of the rockets didn't land on its target, so he's not happy about that. But it was
Okay, it was
also,
about that, or is it about all the other rockets that were shot during the ceasefire?
yeah.
It's hard to tell with him.
Yeah, you got
And
to
people
decode
voted
it.
for
You got to. There's
this.
like we need a Trump like translator, you know. Like, but it's wild, dude. And I haven't even like since that. I won't lie. I haven't really kept up as much. I don't know if there's anything new since then that's been
I know
super.
Bernie was on Joe Rogan.
Really?
Yeah, like this
Hmm.
is updated today or yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw a couple clips earlier. Joe being Joe, the new Joe.
Let's see. Here's one. If you get a chance, see this one, Andrew Wilson and Namia.
Yeah.
They do a whole debate back and forth, and he fucking leaves because he accuses her of being in bad faith, which is hilarious. But
You
also,
have to send me a link.
did you watch Ironheart?
No, I did not.
All right, well, we'll talk about that one next time because I actually watched it as soon as I got home last night. and I was very pleased. I liked it.
I'm gonna have to see if it's on one of those sites.
Yeah, if nothing else, hit me up. I can share you my Disney.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Good cast on the Alien world. A little bit of fun at Andrew Wilson's expense. And Trump. Trump did like most of the comedians at open mic and bombed.
Right.
Nobody asked him to, but did anyway. There is a question of like, didn't they? I think they brought up impeachment shit over this because he didn't get congressional approval before the attack. So
I'd heard about that too, but I've
there's a lot
seen
of question on whether or
Republicans.
not there was some kind of overreach there. There's
That's
even like Marjorie Taylor Greene's going after him now,
yeah,
which
that's
is
someone
fucking
you.
weird.
Yeah.
Fucking weird. But anyway, you got anything else before we go, bub?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, I might not get this one up as quick, but I am going to
Shame
try
on
to
you.
get. I'll probably get it up by tomorrow for sure.
Okay, just
Tonight,
try.
when I got to run to work for a little bit. I'm going to come back and then I'm going to try to find something other than Blender to
That might be a good idea.
do my work with, and then do some editing and actually cut out all those spaces so we can not have to hear not what we're not hearing.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future we can try to figure out a way where I can display it and it somehow gets recorded. Like
I'm
some
sure
sort
there's a
of
workaround.
sure there's something like I've got to look into what a podcasting service one of my friends was using not too long ago because I think you can do shit like that on it. And basically, all you'll have to do is sign up for a free account on it, and then we can do it.
Nice.
But
So where can people find you?
Chad's Perone Comedy on all three of the main social medias, the TikTok and the Gram and Facebook. You can hit me up there. I've been trying to boost my Facebook stuff, so hopefully I'm getting on a lot more feeds soon. And I've
You
been
can
trying to stay relevant and keep posting stuff.
keep whoring yourself out for money.
Oh, I did do that. I was like, hey, here's my Cash App if you just want to send me money. I don't
I've thought about doing that before. See if anybody actually bites. You can find me at Mad Rock Week on YouTube and Facebook and SoundCloud. Check out my SoundCloud.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time on the Weirdo Beardos. Weirdo Beardos. There's another whole song right there.
Right there.
Take it easy.
Bye.